Hi everybody, my name is Ariana Osorio and I'm the Resiliency Coordinator at the POINT CDC. Currently, I run the Be a Buddy program and also our GrowNYC program. So this year, this is the reboot of the Be a Buddy pilot program, which originally began in 2018 for efforts to combat Sandy. And what that showed us was a lot of gaps in our social resiliency. However, when COVID-19 hit, it showed gaps all across the board for social resiliency, not just for seniors and those who weren't connected via social media or the internet, but also intergenerationally. And so one of the things that we realized is that climate resiliency relies primarily on social resilience. And what social resilience means is kind of like we need more hyper local connections, resources, and structures as a community in order for us to be able to support each other in the event of an emergency, but also just on the day-to-day. Think about like neighbors helping neighbors. So since 2018, we've been moving at the speed of trust. We've kind of been identifying leaders in certain neighborhoods like Hunts Point or 10459 Longwood, right? So we've been reaching out to a lot of seniors and people of all ages who just want to be active in their community. And the way that we've been doing that here at the Point is to invite volunteers through our GrowNYC food pantry program. So how that works is if you are a volunteer or if you're a community member and you're interested in volunteering, you would come to our pantry, you work, say, for like 90 days as a volunteer. And in this period, we get to assess what your skills are, what your time and availability is. And if you would like to participate more in some of our community efforts to support our neighbors. From there, you would be then invited to be a buddy. And what that looks like is you would undergo trainings like around climate, around extreme heat or extreme weather conditions, and how to just be informed, but then also keep your neighbors and your family informed about what they can do in those situations. Aside from extreme emergency preparedness, the thing that we need that's deeper is those daily connections, because honestly, in the event of an emergency, if someone reaches out to you, you need to know who to reach out to or feel comfortable enough to reach out and ask for help. So that's where Be a Buddy comes in, and that's where our partnerships come in. Some of our collaborations with our partners in the neighborhood are like FEC or the Family Enrichment Center, and they have about 22 locations across the city. But what they offer are like opportunities for you to build your skill set, for you to learn, say, a business, how to start your own business and start your own LLC, and they give you a stipend for that, or how to cut hair or how to sew something. And ideally, our buddies are attending all of these sessions, not just in order to learn something, but also to start building connections with community organizations that they otherwise have never visited, or just neighbors and other attendees who are active and who are learning, and tell them more about extreme heat, but also building relationships with people in a natural way that isn't forced. Through this pipeline that we have here at the Point, you are a volunteer, you become a buddy, and then as a buddy, you kind of like start to get an idea of all the resources in your neighborhood. That's when other collaborations with FEC, but also for example, the Kelly Street Garden and the plans that we have to do with that next year are kind of like, now we're going to expand beyond Hunts Point and we're going to go into Longwood and start to build up our buddy system there. And what that looks like is we have a group of 10 or more volunteers who are attending weekly at the Kelly Street Garden, offering their volunteer services, but at the same time learning about herbs and learning about composting or companion planting and helping to harvest all of the goods that came from this year. So it's like a really exciting time to be a part of Be a Buddy, and we're growing, but we're making sure that we're growing in a sensitive and sustainable way. So I think the impact of this program of Be a Buddy and what it can offer is just like this social infrastructure these connections and knowing your neighbors, the value of that is a lot more rich than, say, these small little initiatives that kind of don't last forever, right? Didn't mention that was like really special was the Where Your Fans At collaboration. That was just born out of our Be a Buddy participants and volunteers going over to FEC maybe once or to 3 times a month just to take different classes. It could be around, CPR, it could be a knitting class, or it was just like their socials. They have a lot of social events for families in the neighborhood. And so our buddies would go and attend. And in going to these places, they winded up meeting a lot of folks that go to FEC but maybe don't come to the point. And what was born from that is FEC has a bunch of senior citizens who wanted to do some kind of movement class. And the buddy said, well, why don't you don't have space for that, so why don't you guys do it at the point? And that turned into this like beautiful, I guess, 8 to 10 week period of what's the movement going to be? It's going to be dance, and it's going to be a line dance that originated as a viral dance in Texas. And what are we doing it for in New York? But it winded up being really, really cool. Some of our volunteers from FEC taught us this dance. They even did it on a cruise ship this past August. And all of this practice wasn't for nothing. It was actually so that our Family Enrichment Center folks, our Point folks, all the seniors, even folks who use walkers, were doing this dance and then performing it after weeks of practice, performing it at our biggest event of the year, which is the Fish Parade. So, at the end of all of this, everybody's like knowledge of each other, but then like getting to see everybody encourage one another to learn the dance, and you can do this, and we're gonna figure this out together. It was phenomenal. We designed the shirts together that we wore. We designed our matching outfits together. We coordinated for a sign, and even though it rained on the day of the Fish Parade, everybody was out there, like in the rain, dancing with their fans, maybe for like 2 hours, and then they come back here and they're performing together. And it all ended in this really cool soul train. So I think at the end of that experience, like hands down, the seniors, all of the folks were like, when are we doing this next? When's the next performance? And I'm like, this is the last performance for Where Your Fans At, but there's gonna be more collaborations. And so that's kind of where like FEC comes in, our collaboration with them, but then Kelly Street Gardens, so that we could be out in nature, learning about herbs and medicinal herbs and composting and companion planting. And then some days perhaps being here doing these meditation classes. So that's what's kind of in the works for us for the fall and the spring of 2026.
My name is Rafaela Ponte, and I volunteer on the point. And it's important to me because that way I can help people, and I have spare time in my house because I just resigned or I already have my social security because I already work, and I finish and I stay in my house. And I came here and I asked if I can be a volunteer. They told me yes. And since that day on, I've been coming because I like to come here. For me, this is important that this organization doing this because the situation now is bad outside and the economy. And so a lot of people can go to the supermarket and buy the stuff that you guys give them away. And that's a lot of help for people because the situation now, the government want to cut everything and they increase the prices for everything. And you go to the supermarket, they said everything is very expensive and they can afford to buy the thing that you're giving away. This is special for me because I like to help. And this is an organization that I came and I like it for that reason because they help people a lot. And when I help people, I feel good because this is the way that the people supposed to be, helping people but not everybody doing this that you guys doing here.
My name is Myrna Hernandez. For me, it keeps me active. I get to meet different people. I get to enjoy helping wherever I'm needed. I feel the impact that it has is in this area. There's a lot of financially people that can't afford what's out there. So using this pantry helps the bigger families, not the small families. I'm talking about big, and in this community, we have a lot of big families. Meeting a lot of professional people. That's what I got, especially the people from the point. I got to meet you, for a matter of fact, Barbara, Ari, everybody that's involved with this. That shows me that, yes, we're a good community here to help out.
What led me to volunteer was I like helping others. It's always been a passion of mine. And in doing so, I maybe meet a lot of people, and I just enjoy immensely helping others. Working with the community is something, it just really makes me feel good. It's a profound feeling helping the community and meeting different people and different members of all stages, whether it's professionals here at the point or the person on the street that I'm meeting. It's a wonderful experience. My time as a buddy has been wonderful. I meet people different walks of life, from professionals here at the point to just a regular person off the street that they come in and they grab the food. I build a solid rapport with them. And it's been just wonderful. What we do is it's like a neighbor helping a neighbor with this program. And I help them, let's make sure that they're okay. And if the weather is bad, we call them, or they need help with something else like AC, we give them resources for the weather if in case it's too hot. For me personally, I'm like a shy person, so it brings me out of my shell, in a sense, to get to know more people. And I just love it. Working with the community is neighbor helping neighbors. When we did the fish parade, and I was part of the dance crew, and I met people from FEC, and the Beer Buddy joined together, and it was just a great experience.
Michelle Evans. I was actually volunteering at our place, and I got recruited to come and volunteer at the point as well. It's been a great experience, meeting new people, and it just gave me a sense of like family. This program has had me look at the community a little different. Everybody has their own little story, and everybody's going through something different, but we all treat each other fairly. It has taught me to be more aware of, some people don't have like air conditioners, so they're using fans, just to be more aware of who might need that extra help and who doesn't have an air conditioner. I have made new friends, learned a lot of different things, and look forward to learning more.
To finally close, I think big shout out, I just want to give a big shout out to our partners, to FEC, to GrowNYC, to the Mayor's Office of Resiliency, Department of Health and Mental Hygiene for getting this pilot off the ground and working with us through the first round of Be a Buddy and this second round of Be a Buddy and what's more to come. And then I want to give a big welcome and an invite to future partners to collaborate with us. And of course, the last most special shout out to the buddies for all the hard work buddies who began with us in 2018, and then the buddies who we have on board with us now, and also the future ones who are going to come down to the Point or to FEC or to Kelly Street and help us grow our network. So yeah.